Hello, hello, and welcome to Innovators in Real Estate with Real Talk. I am your host, Sue Pinky Benson, and I am here to introduce you to some amazing innovators here in the real estate realm. Today's guest is the fabulous Karin Carr, an innovator in real estate in the YouTube world. So, hi, Karin, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me, Sue. Very exciting.
And Karin is a real estate agent up in Savannah, Georgia. I've known her for years, and she literally wrote the book on YouTube for real estate agents. And now she has a full blown master program, which I just finished. And I have to tell you, Karin, I'm known for my videos. I've done videos for over a decade now. I got into this class and I was like, holy smokes, there is stuff that I have no clue, because while I may be a master at Facebook or Instagram with video, YouTube is a whole nother, what should we say, beast.
It really is.
and
It's
and
like
you
it's this whole different entity. It's not really social media, but people approach it the same way that they do social media. And then they don't have any success on YouTube. So they just say, ah, forget about it. It doesn't work.
For sure. And I have to say that I've always used YouTube for my business, and I do get business from YouTube, but I wanted to be more strategic about how to do that. So I think that this class, even for those out there that might be a little more advanced and say, well, I've been using YouTube, what could she possibly teach me? I think that there is a lot that could be learned. And that brings me to those that are out there that haven't started, Karin. So what do you say? I mean, here in Naples, which is a lot of the real estate agents here that are watching in Southwest Florida, maybe they're older, maybe they haven't been brought up on that technology thing. What would you say to them? Can they still get started?
Of course, of course. I love that old adage of when is the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago? When's the second best time today? It's the same with YouTube. There is plenty of room for everybody on YouTube. Even if there are a bunch of people in the same market that are on YouTube, everyone has a different personality and everybody brings a different spin to it. There's more than enough room for everybody. And listen, it's not rocket science. You literally just hold your phone out and record a video. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. I think the easiest way to film is just using the webcam on my computer. So if my computer is set up and I pull up Zoom and I hit record, I record the whole thing. It's so easy. It doesn't require a lot of technology and a lot of equipment.
No, it really doesn't. And I do think people get overwhelmed by that. I also think that there has been, especially with the pandemic, there was this influx of these really nicely put together, choreographed videos by real estate agents. They're like HGTV commercial level videos, which they're great. And there is a wonderful purpose for them. But it's not realistic to think that every single video has to look that way. And in fact, I've actually read that people, consumers, are swiping past those because they look too much like a commercial, and they're engaging more with the ones that are homegrown, so to speak. Have you found that as well, Karin?
I do. I do. I have a lot of friends that make beautiful listing tour videos of multi-million dollar mansions. And I'm like, wow, that looks like so much work. I would never make a video that took that much work. Now, maybe if I had a multi-million dollar listing, I would spend the money to hire somebody else to make it for me. But that's not really what I'm talking about. The videos that I make for my YouTube channel are rarely about a particular listing. It's more like, what is it like living in this area? And have you ever thought about coming to Naples? And why would you like it here? And what sort of things do you need to know? And if I'm looking at Naples or Tampa, which one is better for me? And how do I make the choice? And all those kinds of questions. They're not about a specific house. It's more about the area. And if you have a very distinct specialty, let's say that you're a probate specialist, it's a really great way to reach people who are needing your particular set of expertise and skills, and you're making videos to help them with this huge challenge or problem that they're having right now. It's not really so much about the individual house itself. And so if I'm just telling you Hey, did you inherit a property and you want to sell it and you live in New Jersey and you don't know anybody that's going to take care of this for you? And that happens to be my area of expertise. I'd love to list this house for you. Let me tell you what you need to know. It's just you talking to the camera very, very informally. And it lets the people get to know you and say, wow, I really like this person. She knows what she's talking about. She seems very down to earth and trustworthy. And let's give her a phone call. And those are just the best clients that I ever get. I do not specialize in probate, but the clients that I get from my YouTube channel are hands down the best clients I've ever gotten in the 17 years that I've been in real estate.
And let's talk about that. When you first, because you've been in different markets,
Mhm.
and that's how you kind of got started. So for all these people out there that are wondering if they should get started, yes, you should get started. She came into a new community, and she was in Savannah, and she started making these videos about what basically, hey, I just moved to Savannah, what you need to know if you're moving here. Very basic.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I got licensed in Northern California and we moved cross country to be closer to my family. And I had no name recognition, no market share. Nobody knew me. When they looked me up on the Georgia Real Estate Commission website, it looked like I had literally just gotten licensed last Thursday because I had licensed in Georgia, not licensed ever, but nobody knew that. They all thought that I was, green and a total newbie. I started making videos sheerly as a way to get some name recognition, some brand awareness, just trying to get my name out into this brand new community. And I didn't really tell people that I was brand new to Savannah. My mom and dad had lived there for probably 10 years at the time. So we were coming to visit a lot. And I knew enough about it to be able to make some videos and talk about it intelligently. So I was saying, hey, are you thinking about moving to Savannah? You're in the military. You just found out you're being sent to Hunter Army Airfield. Did you know it is so inexpensive here? You could actually buy a house. You don't have to live on post. Wouldn't that be cool if you could actually buy a house with zero money down because you're using your VA entitlement? So I was making a lot of videos like that, speaking to the military community because we have a big base here. And my husband's retired Air Force, so I know that jargon and the lingo and how it all works. And just trying to make videos that would help them when they got here and hopefully like light the fire under them that you could actually buy a house when you get here. I mean, one of my VA clients, I can't believe this. This must have been in 2017, maybe early 2018. New construction, $192,000. So he built a beautiful, I mean, it was not a mansion. It was a cookie cutter starter home, but built it everything exactly how he wanted. Came in at a whopping 192. He did a VA loan. I think his base allowance for housing was more than the mortgage payment. So he was coming out of pocket $0 a month to pay the
Wow.
mortgage. It's basically like they gave him a house for free.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So it works. Doing videos works. And I
Yeah.
think, let's talk about the innovator side of things, because obviously that's what this show is about. You were one of the first to really embrace and start to understand the YouTube platform within real estate. Was it challenging in the beginning for you personally? Were people kind of like, what is she doing? Who does she think she is? Is this going to work? I know I had a lot of that, kind of the whispers behind my back. Sometimes they were right in my ear. I remember people saying, is she a tour guide or is she a real estate agent?
Uh, so at the very beginning, I wasn't terribly, I figured this is all going to be a big experiment. And what's the worst that can happen is I try it and I don't get any clients from it. And oh, well, at least I tried. And I'm not embarrassed or I'm not afraid to make a fool of myself in public. I'm not, worried that somebody would whisper behind my back and make me feel bad. It was like, hey, if I start getting business from this, they can say whatever they want me about me, right? And then when I started doing multiple six figures in GCI and built a team of how many agents now, it's like they can say whatever they want. But what I did was I started scoping out the competition in my market. And I was like, is anybody on YouTube in my market? And let's go look and see what they're doing. And there was one person who was making any video content with any regularity. And as they say here in Savannah, bless his heart, he was making these videos every single week without fail. And they would get 12 views, 17 views. Like he'd have a really great video that got maybe 75 views. He was just getting no views from
Gotcha.
it whatsoever. And I was thinking, okay, why? Why is nobody finding these? And it was because he was not using the platform in the way that it was intended. He was not giving it a good title. He was making it too much of a commercial of let me tell you all about me and why I am so great and why I am the best agent to help you. And this is what I see over and over and over again, right? Is we talk all about ourselves. Let me just tell you how great I am. Enough about me. What do you think about me? And that does not work on YouTube. People don't go there so they can watch a commercial. They want to be informed. They want to be entertained. They're not there to just, hear you tell them what all of your designations are. So I found just by practicing and like trying stuff out that the less salesy I was in the videos, the more my phone rang from it. So after I figured that out, I just went full bore and said, okay, I'll make one video a week and I will tell them whatever I feel like talking about that week that is somehow related to real estate, because I figure like I could go interview the restaurant owner, but my goal is not to make everybody go to the restaurant to have dinner. My goal is to get them to call me and say, I'd like to list my house, please. And so I talk about real estate topics I mean, 98% of the videos I make are about real estate because I'm kind of going for the people that are self-identifying that they're in the market to do a transaction. So I make videos about real estate, but not about specific houses. It might be something like the interest rates have gone up. You're thinking you waited too long. And now you're just thinking, oh man, I've missed the boat. I missed the boat. Well, is that really the case? How big of a difference is that going to make in your monthly payment? And you make a video like that, talking to somebody that was considering buying. That's going to be so helpful for them. And you're not making it all about yourself. You're making it all about how can I help you and answer your questions. Then when they're ready to, okay, let's do this, we're going to buy a house, they naturally think of you because you're that nice person that was making all those videos on YouTube that were very helpful.
It does. It gives you the know, like, trust factor that we always talk about. It's the same thing with social media. You always want to be there and be showing up in a positive way that helps them to be educated and entertained. And it comes back. It doesn't always come back that day. It might take a longer period of time to get there. But I think as innovators in this industry, it is interesting to me because we still have so many agents that are behind. They're still holding on to what has always worked for them, which I totally appreciate, but that doesn't mean that it's always going to continue to work. And that's where I like to say you either have to evolve or you have to be happy that you're dissolving, right? Like you evolve or you dissolve. And I think that it's okay if you don't have to be all in on everything. Like I said, I mean, I've been doing this stuff for years. I've been on YouTube for over 12 years, and I'm finally like, okay, I got to really figure this out. So I'm diving into it now. But you don't have to. I maximize my exposure on Instagram, and like you and I go back and forth because I'm like, okay, so this is what you need to do on Instagram, Karin, because that may not be everything to you, but you want to learn it. So it's okay to like take one little aspect like YouTube, dive in, put your time, energy, and effort into it and see, like, what do you think? I think you said, what is it? Usually typically 4 months to a year before you start seeing the results from your videos.
Yeah, that's a pretty good average. I think 4 to 6 months is pretty typical for most people. Some it happens a lot sooner than that. Sometimes it takes longer than that, but 4 to 6 months is a good, like, I'm going to give it 6 months before I even consider stopping doing this. Like, you got to give it a fair shake.
Definitely. You got to go in there and you got to be consistent and you got to keep going after it and see what happens. Always try and up your game, guys. Just
Yeah.
because what worked yesterday isn't going to work tomorrow. And it's the same thing. I get a lot of people on social media like Facebook's changed, Instagram's changed. Yeah, well, we don't own the platforms. You've always got to kind of evolve and change with what's happening and try new things. It's not going to hurt you. So, Karin, you have a fabulous class. You have a book. How can agents find you to get more information?
Oh, thank you. Well, my book is on Amazon. It's called YouTube for Real Estate Agents. Learn how to get free real estate leads and never cold call again. It is 99 cents for the Kindle version. I think it's 10 bucks for the paperback if you'd rather have a physical book that you could highlight and stuff in. My website is karincarr.com. And of course, I'm all over YouTube. Search my name. You'll find a million of these videos.
Awesome. Thank you, my friend, so much for joining me today. I hope that everyone enjoyed Innovators in Real Estate right here on Real Talk with our local board, Nabor. And I am Sue Pinky Benson, and we will see you next time.